Hey everyone, this is Kim Quady with KimPlaysWithPaper.com. I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator in Mesa, Arizona, and I love to come live and show you what I've been working on in my craft room. And today is a fun shaker card, but it has a fun little story to go with it. To show you kind of where ideas come from and take shape. So I hope that you'll either be able to join me live or watch the replay. Say hello if you come on, and I'll try to greet you, or I will get to the comments after the live today. So let me pop you down to my workspace and I'll show you what we'll be making today and how the inspiration for that came about. So just give me a sec here. I'll pop you down to the workspace. Hey, Teresa, thanks so much for joining. A couple weeks ago, I was preparing with a friend for a Christmas card class using the Berry Christmas cards and envelopes. And a friend helped me cut 48 of this background. Now, you may not be familiar with this. It's a die cut in Stampin' Up's September through December mini catalog. You'll find it on page 13. And so it's super fun. It cuts out your background, and then you can use it with all these little trees. Well, the remnant of that is a whole bunch of these little fellows. So I had them on a paper plate in the middle of my table, and a friend of mine said, "So what are these doing here? What are you going to do with these?" And I said, "Well, I couldn't really throw them away." So I decided to make a shaker card with it. So let me show you today how I'm going to put those little scraps to good use. Some of my stamping friends give me a really hard time about my scraps because I don't like scraps, but hey, come on, now I'm using up scraps, so I'm excited about that. So here's today's shaker card. And you can see my little trees in there. I'm using those for the shaking mechanism. I'll tell you the products that I used, and then I'll show you how to make it. Sometimes making a shaker card seems to be a little overwhelming, but when you break it down step by step, it really is quite fun and quite easy. And I really think that the Christmas tree die from Stampin' Up's Merriest Trees Bundle works really, really well for that because it's such a nice big image. And in fact, the dies come with several other trees, so you could make those trees any size you want. All right, so let me just set that aside. The first thing I did is I started out with a piece of basic white cardstock, maybe even thick to help it stand up, measuring 5 1/4 by 4. And then I took that to my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and I ran it through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine and cut that tree out. And then I added another layer. I took that white die cut piece and I ran it through the Snowflake Sky 3D embossing folder. So you'll see there's that embossing folder, super fun. It gives it just some snowflake texture for that tree. So that piece is all ready to go. I also have 2 window sheets that measure 5 by 3 3/4. Hey, Lori, thanks for joining. Think about today is Tuesday, November 14th. For 3 more days, Stampin' Up is offering a seasonal sale, and the cardstock is 20% off, and that includes our cardstock, our specialty paper, even the window sheets from the annual catalog. Hey, Don, thanks so much for popping in. Going to be making a shaker card today. And then I have a piece of a Walk in the Forest designer series paper measuring 5.5 by 4.25. If you remember, this designer series paper is from the holiday catalog, the holiday mini, and $3 from the sale of every package of this goes to help kids in need at the holidays. The other piece is 8.5 by 5.5 scored at 4.25. That is thick, basic white. One thing to keep in mind, that if I'm talking too fast, which I have a tendency to do, you can see all the measurements on my blog at kimplayswithpaper.com. So you can check there. There will be this replay, a video replay, YouTube, all that good stuff. Oh, and once I upload this to my YouTube channel, it's my 200th video. So I'm so excited about that. All right. Well, let's start by working up. The reason I'm bringing in my trimmer is because I don't normally make a background piece that's the same size as the front, because honestly, I struggle with getting things on straight, but I find that if I can tuck these edges in, I have a way better chance of getting those pieces on straight. Hey, Kay, thanks for joining, making us a shaker card with a host of different products. So right now I put some of the glue on the back of this designer series paper, and I have to make sure that I have the trees going the right direction. Hi, Diane, thanks for joining. So I'm just going to pop that in here, because I have it snug, and that covers the whole front for me. And the reason that glue is so nice is it gives you just a second to position it before it gets really dry. So there's our base that we will work with. If you're just popping in, this is the shaker card. Hey, Ellen, thanks for joining, that I'm going to make. It is made, the shakers are the little die cuts from the tiny Christmas tree die. All right, so then we have our die cut piece here. I am going to flip that over. Hey, Brenda, thanks for joining. You might recognize all these little tiny trees. So from here, I am going to apply some adhesive. This is on the back. I got a little close to that. I need to be careful. I don't want to cover that up. I'm just going to apply the adhesive here all around the edge, and then I'm going to apply my window sheet. Stampin' Up sells a window sheet that measures 5 by 3 3/4. Hey, Colleen, thanks for joining. So I'm just going to position the window sheet on the top. So we're creating the shaker part. All right, so the next piece is to take the adhesive strips, the foam adhesive strips. Those are in Stampin' Up's annual catalog as well. And we are going to begin to make the little well that the shaker bits will reside. So these foam adhesive strips are just really nice. They have long strips, and you just cut off what you need. They are double-sided. I'm not going to take that adhesive off quite yet. You can just clip off what you need. Hey, Sue, thanks for joining. You love shaker cards. I know, and like you say, once you get going, they are really fun to make. They're not that hard. And there are a couple of different ways to make them, but this is the way I'm going to try today. Just putting those foam adhesive strips around, because that will provide the little a little holding spot for the tree bits. Okay. Yeah, this is the shaker card we're going to make as I shake it, but it's fun. It's got little fun. So here they are. Here's my bag of remnants from that fun die, the tiny Christmas tree die. And I have a whole bunch. So let's sometimes, is more or less better. So what do you think? Is that enough shaker bits for that card? Maybe too many, who knows? All right. And I also had some red ones, and I think I might have tossed those. So I'll have to do some more die cutting. All right. And after we die cut these, my husband kept finding these little tiny trees all over the house. He's like, what? Where are those coming from? My craft room. All right. So I'm going to have my other window sheet handy, 5 by 3 3/4. What I need to do is tear off that adhesive gently. I think the last time I made a shaker card, I said I need to tear these off gently so I don't disrupt the sequins, and I shook the sequins all over the table. So those things happen when you craft, right? I'm being ever so careful here. Okay, all right. So then I am going to place my window sheet on top of that. And then we have created the shaker mechanism for that card. So we can just kind of shake, shake, shake. It looks like, there's a lot of fun little trees in there. All right, so now we need to put the shaker onto the card. And I'm going to bring in like all the Stampin' Up! Adhesives. And I thought that the tear and tape might be a really good option for this. So bear with me as this is another double-sided tape. You can either cut it or tear it, whichever works for you. But that way it's going to help me get that on the card a little more easily. Hey, Kathy, thanks for joining. All right, so step by step, the shaker card is coming together. And I need a little bit here too. All righty. Okay, so let's just grab my, got someone from Ohio watching. I hope everything is well. Oh yes, the time change from last week. Arizona doesn't change time, but oh my gosh, I'm so confused about what time it is everywhere else. I have a blog hop tonight, and I had to ask someone, so what time really is that? Good thing we have that little time changer thing on our phone. So I'm just peeling off with my pick tool the double-sided things from the tear and tape. And then, as best I can, I'm going to center that in the front of my card, the middle of the card. On top of that, a Walk in the Forest Designer Series paper. The little bits in there are Old Olive. So that is our shaker card. Super cute, super fun, but it's a little plain right now. So what I did do was I used the sentiment from the Merriest Trees, to you and yours, and I heat embossed it in gold. Hey, Sandy, thanks for joining. So I'm going to just add that. I didn't want a really big sentiment because I didn't want to take away from the tree. So I'm just putting a glue dot on either end of that sentiment that I've gone ahead and die cut and heat embossed in gold already. And then I felt that it really needed a ribbon, and I didn't want to really heavy ribbon. So this is gold 1/8 inch trim, and it's an online exclusive. It comes in a 2-pack, gold and silver. So you'll find those online under the online exclusives. Give me a shout if you need help finding them. So I'm just, the shaker filler, I'll show you in just after I make this bow. I just love this ribbon. Is so easy to work with. So we'll get the bow made, kind of get it where I want it. Keeps moving. Then I'll use a glue dot. I roll a little glue dot up with my finger and put it behind that little knot. And then I can add that to my tree. And it's just getting to be such a really gorgeous tree. Anybody put their tree up yet? We usually try to do that around Thanksgiving. So what I used for the shaker contents were, there's this die in the holiday mini, Stampin' Up's September through December, that die cuts this this little pattern here on the outside. So I saved all of those trees from cutting out 48 cards, and that's what I used for the shakers. So my friends can't accuse me of not using my scraps anymore. So that's what I used. I also had some red ones. I did some die cutting of some red ones. Hey, Suzanne, thanks everybody for popping in and watching. Give me a shout if you have any more questions. And then, of course, we need bling. Oh, yes, this is a really fun die. Have fun with it. I've made, makes a great background. So I don't know. Do you think I went overboard on the pearls? These are the festive pearls. Hey, Terry, thanks for watching. So we've got cherry cobbler, green, silver, and gold. And I started out, I was just going to put one. Hey, Shirley, I was just going to put every other jewel. And then I thought, oh, every branch needs decorated. It's kind of like all that tinsel that we used to put on the trees, and then it would get all over the house and the dog and all of that. All right. So just adding my gold festive pearls. I added to my order again today. Love, love, love these. All right. Okay, so you could use any color shaker, any color background, but this is a Francine. This is what I chose to use today. Just to recap, it was the Merriest Trees Bundle with the stamp set and the big tree die cut, which is right here. So we cut that out of a piece of thick, basic white, thick cardstock, embossed it with the Snowflake Sky 3D embossing folder, and then created a shaker card with that. The Walk in the Forest Designer Series paper is in the background. So I hope you like this card. Like I said, a funny story about how it originated. I wanted to use those Christmas tree pieces. If anyone has any other uses for those, let me know. But there will be directions on my blog at kimplayswithpaper.com, and you can always watch the replay or shoot me an email if you have questions or a message. Anyway, have a great day, everyone. Thank you all for being here, for liking, for sharing, for commenting, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.